You've probably heard of Scientology.
The Church of Scientology is...
Church of Scientology.
The Church of Scientology.
Scientology.
If you go looking, it's not hard to find an array of dark and unsettling rabbit holes sprawled across Reddit and the rest of the internet. Often shrouded in secrecy, there is one that has always caught my attention. Every time I return to delve a little deeper, I find myself getting more and more lost in this labyrinth. Scientology, a religious and spiritual belief system founded in the early 1950s by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. It is characterized by a unique set of beliefs and practices that include the concept of thetans, the use of an e-meter device for spiritual counseling, and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment through a series of courses and levels known as the Bridge to Total Freedom. In this video, I'm going to willingly jump into this rabbit hole, touching on their beliefs, controversies, and personal stories that have been shared by various different Reddit users, all while trying to avoid getting hunted down and harassed by the group until I disappear off the face of the internet and end up on an expo video 5 years down the line. Anyways, with that being said, sit back and relax, grab some coffee, as this is going to be a journey. At its core, Scientology offers the promise of personal growth and spiritual enlightenment. The belief in thetans, which we will touch on later, and the concept of clearing past traumas through auditing sessions can be deeply appealing to those seeking spiritual fulfillment and self-improvement. The Church of Scientology has structured courses and levels, providing a clear path to the bridge, whilst also generating a sense of belonging and community to its members that have been roped in. While some are genuinely drawn into its teachings and sense of community, others may become disillusioned or face challenges once they become more deeply involved. The allure of Scientology lies in its ability to tap into the individual's aspirations whilst remaining a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. So, for the record, I'm just going to go ahead and say that every opinion I voice in this video is purely my opinion, and each and every one of you may have one that differs. Feel free to utilize the comment section as a debate room or an open space to share anything you want for that matter, and I'll try and respond to them as best as possible. L. Ron Hubbard was born on March 13th, 1911 in Tilden, Nebraska. While the basic details of his birth are well documented, it's the narrative of his early life that has given rise to a lot of intrigue. Hubbard had a prolific career as a sci-fi writer. His imaginative storytelling often ventured into realms of space, spirituality, and the supernatural, themes that would later find in the teachings of Scientology. Perhaps the most significant precursor to Scientology in Hubbard's sci-fi writing is the concept of Dianetics, which he produced in 1950. Dianetics, as initially presented, was a form of psychotherapy aimed at addressing mental and emotional abuses. It laid the groundwork for many of the ideas that would later be incorporated into Scientology, such as the concept of auditing, the idea of clear individual, and the notion that traumatic experiences could be eradicated to achieve spiritual advancement. He originally introduced this process as a self-help movement. However, in order to build on the success of Dianetics, Hubbard established the Church of Scientology in 1954, officially transitioning from a self-help movement to a religious organization. This change in status allowed the church to enjoy tax-exempt status in the US and afforded it certain legal protections. Over the decades that followed, they grew exponentially, popping up churches all over the world from the USA to the UK like it's Sim City. Particularly during the 60s and 70s, Scientology attracted followers, contributing to making it a prominent religious movement with helping self-improvement and bettering oneself like they promised. This wasn't limited to the general public either. Countless celebrities got involved with endorsing Scientology like a sportswear brand, and still do to this day. However, we're going to touch on this slightly later in the video, and for now we're going to have a little look at just what this religion believes. Scientologists believe in the existence of thetans, an immortal soul that has passed through many beings since the start of the universe. Each Thetan, having lived countless lives, has accumulated bad experiences and traumas known as engrams. Scientologists believe that they can fix, or at least improve, the different minds of these so-called engrams through auditing. According to Hubbard, there are thousands of these Thetans stuck to your body, and each of these Thetans have their own reactive mind, so once you've completed the first stage of auditing, you have to move on to the auditing of each of these individual Thetans stuck to your body. You're essentially telepathically auditing these spirits that are stuck to your body. As the ex-Scientologist Aaron Smith Levin said, it's a recipe for a mental breakdown, combined with the fact Scientology is against any form of mental help outside of Scientology. It gives you a recipe for disaster. The next question would be, where did all of these negative Thetans come from? And that's where the powerful overlord of the Galactic Federation, Xenu, comes into play. About 75 million years ago, the Galactic Empire had a huge population problem. So in order to better this situation, Xenu called everyone in for a tax audit. L. Hubbard hated the IRS, so of course the story had something to do with tax audits. And in the words of Aaron, Xenu said, "Psych bitch," and froze them all in glycol, flew them all to Earth, dropped them all in volcanoes and blew them up like hydrogen bombs. Can you tell this guy was a sci-fi writer? Anyway, so now we're all walking on Earth being constantly bombarded with these disembodied spirits that are all blowing around in the wind. All of these individual spirits each have a reactive mind, so when you go to the higher ups in Scientology with a problem like cancer, they will claim that it's one of your body Thetans and you'll need some auditing to clear it up. I don't know how people believe this. All of these auditing sessions are all done with what's called an e-meter. But you may be wondering, how does Scientology use this e-meter? Well, essentially it's a small handheld device with 2 metal electrodes connected to it. One electrode is held in each hand by the person undergoing auditing. The e-meter measures the electrical resistance, or more specifically the skin's galvanic response between the 2 electrodes. When a small electrical current is passed through the person's body via the electrodes, changes in the electrical conductivity of the skin are detected. So when a person undergoes this auditing and faces questions on how they feel or past traumas and experiences, the needle on the e-meter display may fluctuate. These fluctuations can only be interpreted by trained auditors. But I'm pretty sure you don't need an expert to figure out that whenever the needle moves drastically, they're gonna react in a way that the woman did on that one South Park episode. I think the most eerie thing for me, however, is the so-called bridge to total freedom, which is not really as spiritual as it might sound at first. It's essentially a chart in the church that the fellow Scientologists move up in by graduating through each level. Scientology is known for its level of secrecy surrounding these levels on the bridge. These upper levels, often referred to as operating Thetan or OT levels, are kept confidential, and members are required to sign legal contracts promising not to disclose the content of these teachings to non-members. This secrecy has contributed to the aura of mystery surrounding the religion. What's dodgy is that these levels are not just spiritual levels that the members can achieve through hard work and audits. These levels also cost an abhorrent amount of money. So this, combined with the immense amount of pressure from the higher ups to move up, can understandably break a person. Not just mentally, but monetarily too. This brings us on to the next part of the video. Picture Scientology as this huge web, trapping members in it like houseflies. Once you fly too close, it's game over. The Church of Scientology has been known to stalk anyone that bats an eye towards them. From the stories on Reddit to the videos of people being stopped by members of the church in public, all of it seems quite eerie. A religion that's aimed at bettering oneself seems to be quite head over heels about taking people's money. Showing the slightest bit of interest in the church results in being stalked, followed, and harassed. Just like it's a clothing brand, Scientology went ahead and endorsed celebrities and caught them under their cultish spell. believing that if they could bring some role models into the church, they may be able to tempt a few more people of the general public to join up and spend an extortionate amount of money. Perhaps the most famous celebrity associated with Scientology is Tom Cruise. He joined the Church of Scientology in the early 1990s and has since become one of the most vocal celebrity joiners. Another big celebrity would be John Travolta. When celebrities like Tom Cruise and John Travolta enthusiastically promote the church, it raises questions about their role in the recruitment efforts and whether they are using their fame to lure others into the organization. Maybe that's not the case and they are more attracted to the money that comes with being endorsed by the church, but it still raises questions for sure. Diving into the financial aspect of Scientology reveals the sleazy sides of the church. It is no news by now that the courses and auditing sessions are not shy with their prices. The pricing structure, high-pressure sales tactics, and lack of transparency surrounding the financial aspects of the church have led to accusations of financial exploitation. All of these will remain only accusations though, and can never really be proved due to the secretive nature of the church. It's been said that the prices can be in the thousands for a single auditing session, which is insane. Okay, so if you're still watching this video, first of all, thank you. But second of all, this video is going to get pretty dark as we're now going to dive into a pretty shady topic surrounding this religion. Shelly Miscavige is, or was, the wife of Scientology's CEO David Miscavige. Her mysterious disappearance from the public eye has cast a chilling shadow over the Church of Scientology. The last known public appearance of Shelly occurred at her father's funeral in 2007. Since then, she has not been seen at any public events or gatherings, nor has she made any public statements. This sudden and complete withdrawal from the public life has raised questions about her well-being and her true fate. Rumours and accounts from former Scientologists tell a disturbing tale. They claim that Shelly's disappearance is linked to her alleged attempt to question and challenge the leadership of the church, including the behaviour of her husband, David Miscavige. According to these accounts, Shelly was subsequently subjected to extreme isolation and punishment within the confines of the church's secretive base, known as the Gold Base. Whispers of locked doors, guarded gates, and tightly controlled communications emanate from this secret compound. It is said to be a place where enemies of the church are allegedly subjected to harsh disciplinary measures, including long periods of isolation and even confinement in a small trailer known as the Hole, where they are reportedly subjected to psychological pressure and control. Despite numerous inquiries and legal challenges, the Church of Scientology maintains that Shelly Miscavige is not missing and is simply engaged in her work and religious duties within the church. As of July 2023, LAPD closed the missing person case and have given up trying to find her. It's as if she fell off the face of the earth. So there you have it. With what started as a little look at the tip of the iceberg ended up being a rabbit hole with the missing wife of the CEO lurking at the very bottom. Maybe one day everything will come out about the religion and it will be finally outed, but for now whatever is going on behind the doors of the higher ups in the church will remain a mystery. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot and greatly helps out the channel. If I haven't been captured by Scientology, then I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.